You think she's a good girl, but once you get to know her, you realize she's everything. She's crazy, she's funny, she's honest, and you'll never know what she'll do next.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you came back. This is amazing. You're not going to believe who I have here today. Andre Lysenko. This is podcast number 70, and I'm glad you tuned back in today so we can tell you what's going on. But listen, you're not going to believe this. I met this guy how many years ago?
Probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
And what happened? Did you send me an email or did you send me a text?
I just sent you a text like probably maybe a couple weeks ago or something like this.
He sent me a text, and you know how my phone is. I have everybody programmed in there with their picture of when we met. Oh, I should have given you that picture, James. That would have been good.
Yep.
The picture of when we met, and we were at a Grant Cardone conference, and I have all the notes. He was interested in multifamily investing. Are you still interested in that now?
Absolutely.
You are. Okay. And what else are you interested in right now?
Oh my God, there is a bunch of different subjects. So I'm interested in, growing my network, finding new people to connect with, finding new clients for my business where I'm partner in, finding, great guys who I can, do business with in investing in multifamily because I have a bunch of deals myself, so that's a couple of things. Yes.
Okay. And I've got some great deals coming up too to tell you about, but not on this show. We'll do that later. But anyway, so Andre Lysenko is from Ukraine. Now, when did you come over? Ukraine.
Yes.
It's Ukrainian. You're Ukrainian.
Yes.
From the Ukraine, which is at war right now with Russia.
Yes.
And what do you think about that?
I mean, it's very sad. Unfortunately, I being there when it all started, I went to visit my family, my parents.
Are they still over there?
They're still over there, yes. I went to visit there. It was like after COVID. I couldn't travel for many years. I couldn't see them. But then when restrictions went away, I went there, visited for a week, and then like bombs exploded probably 10 miles from my parents' house.
Oh my gosh.
And then just next morning, I just evacuated, went to Moldova, and flew back to US where I live.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, prayers for your family.
Yeah, it's sad. Yes.
Yeah, that is sad. So, what brought you? What age were you when you came over to the U.S.?
So I was 26 years old.
26, and now you're
36 years old.
10 years ago, you came over. Okay, so tell me, what was your passion that you were like, I got to get over to the U.S. to do what?
Originally when I came here as a translator on the job. I was Ukrainian English translator. And it happens that I met my wife, who was also a translator. So, and
from Ukraine as well?
She moved here much earlier with her parents. So she is American, right? And but it was a love from the first sight. We basically married probably.
I love to hear stories like that.
In a month after we met.
A month? You got married a month after you met?
I just proposed her months after we met.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's been 10 years since we are together.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless you guys. That's wonderful. So now, your first impression of the American dream. Now, how close to reality would you say that has been in the 10 years you've been here?
I mean, American dream, I thought about it differently when I was in Ukraine, right? When I was growing up, I liked Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Hollywood, and okay, I need to live in America. And it's being since I probably was 8 years old. And then somehow, I do believe dreams come true because here I am living American dream. When I came here, it's totally different experience from what I experienced in Hollywood movies. Obviously, people here work much harder and much more. So there is very hard challenge of having work-life balance, which I don't truly believe, because I truly believe that if you work hard, you can get what you want, and not just working hard, working smart as well, because just hard work not gonna get you. I mean, it's gonna give you okay life, but if you want excellence, you need to be smart as well.
Okay, so what is the biggest lesson about building wealth as an immigrant coming to the U.S. would you say that you've learned since you've been here?
I think the biggest lessons is being outgoing, connecting to people, always finding new connections, new friends, and money is out there, opportunities out there. You just need to be outgoing, willing person to talk, and meeting new opportunities, because they're going to come to you.
Right.
If you're sitting at your home or just going to your work every day and you don't strive for excellence, I don't believe like you can grow big. What is your ambitions basically? Like if you want to grow big, then obviously you need to communicate, you need to be there, you need to be visible, you need to, like, same as I contacted Tracy, like I wouldn't be here. We met so many years ago, and then like one day,
I wish I could send you that picture so I could show you that picture. Let me send it to you. I gotta, while he's talking, I want to send you the picture of us.
Yeah, so it's like basically always like, if you don't like where you are, like you're not a tree, you can either move, you can find new connections, new people, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do every single day, is just like have new contacts, meet new people, talk to new people, and you're gonna grow.
Right. Let me send this picture real quick to your chat, James, so you can show this picture when we first met. It's funny. Anyway, okay, so now so what did you decide to get involved in when you moved here? Would you say it's, now you just said that you can become you can network and meet a lot of people here in the US. Is it the same in the Ukraine?
It's not the same in Ukraine, and the biggest difference, and why I really want to move to US, is because of opportunities. Here is, I think United States is the best country in the world to live in and have opportunities. And if you have a right mindset, to make it, you're going to make it here.
Right.
It's not true about Ukraine. Unfortunately, Ukraine is very corrupt. If you don't have good connections in with politicians, or your uncle doesn't work in KGB or something, it's really hard to build a business from scratch. So here you still have a law, you protect it. I think the system is built for small businesses, for grow, and it's so easy to open a business and start doing something. Obviously, You need to know what you're doing, but I think the key thing is just start and learn. With today opportunities like AI,
it's amazing.
You can do anything. You can do anything.
I still can't believe I'm alive during this time.
Yes.
That AI is here to make everything so easy, right?
Yes.
So how do you think you approach risk any differently now, being an immigrant coming here, than you would if you'd been born here and lived here all your life?
I think so. It's definitely, there is a different mindset from what I grown into, how I grown in Ukraine and here in the United States. I want to say something about debt, which is easily available in the United States, and that could be a blessing and could be a curse, and it's I think one of the biggest skills is properly managing debt, and using those borrowed money. You can either get trapped or you can actually win-win.
Right.
So in Ukraine, that wasn't in Ukraine, the mentality was you make money, then you spend it. Here, possibility of growth using this leverage is unlimited.
Okay, I like that. And so what are your daily habits, or any mindset shifts that have helped you in this transition, coming from the Ukraine to living here and being successful as you are here now? And another thing that Andre is doing is helping people with debt consolidation, which that's the reason he emailed me or texted me, was because he wanted me to interview his boss. Is it your boss?
No, he's my partner in the business.
He's your partner?
Yes. He being longer in this particular business, so I really wanted him to be.
We've got him coming, so we're just hanging on to that. We don't want to ruin it. Oh, there's our picture. There we are when we met at this conference. How many years ago was that?
Probably
3 or 4.
Something like this, yes.
Yeah, but there we are. Wouldn't you be attracted to a guy that looked as sharp as that? And we just started up a conversation right away. And then you see this picture popped up when he messaged me a couple weeks ago, and of course, I wanted to get them in as soon as I could to help you share your message, and
yes,
and help Barton, your partner, share his message. But he fell ill, and so he'll be here, soon.
Yes,
we're going to save that message for another later date.
That's correct.
So today we decided just to focus on the difference of being an immigrant, coming over here 10 years ago and how your life has flourished now since then.
Yes.
And would you, well, first I was just asking you about the mindset shifts. How has that helped you transition?
You know, like, there is definitely like, I missed something without like having this like education of United States, like without credit, right? So obviously we want to keep it for Wharton to speak, right? But at the same time, like, I want to mention part of my story. When I came here and saw this debt easily available, I wasn't that really kind of educated about managing debt properly, right? And then COVID time didn't help with that as well, right? So, but you know, here, like, that is one of the things that can help you grow. And
Right.
from the mindset perspective, I think
that is an amazingly different perspective. How would you say that? So you don't see debt as an adversity.
Yeah.
How do you see debt?
I mean, I see that as you know, like leverage, an opportunity to get your goals quicker. But obviously, before taking on that, you need to have plan A, plan B, plan C, how you make sure you can afford this debt.
Okay.
And how you can make sure you can, you know, make more money than lose on interest.
All right, I like that. So the daily habit, one of the daily habits you have is to help other people get out of debt.
Absolutely. One of the daily habits, I help people get out of debt. You know, I help people also as my another side of line of work, right? I help people, as we spoke about real estate, right? I always being into real estate. I've been interested in multifamily, you know, like single family, land flips. Like, I've been on a bunch of different seminars, right? So now I have a couple properties in Tampa Bay area, right? So
you drove up today from Tampa.
Yep.
Or drove down from
Yep.
Tampa.
That's right. Yes, and basically, you know, it's just like real estate is still part of my game, right? So
Right.
I love real estate. I love connecting people. Too, yeah. I have always some good deals, you know, like for you, right? Like, I have this guy who, you know, want to buy some deals in Tampa Bay area, right? So like, there's definitely so much. And reason I love real estate, because it's always win-win game.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you prepare, you know, you manage the deal properly, everybody wins.
All right. So what's the advice that you give to other immigrants who want to, or who are thinking about coming here but haven't yet, and they're not sure that they can build something from nothing the way that you have?
I mean, I think the proper message is obviously immigrate here legally, because then you don't need to be scared or, you know, feared with all this what's going on right now in this country, right? Yes, it's not easy, you know, like, it was a long process for me to actually get my green card, you know, like, and get all the documents, get all the background checks, pay for all the fees, you know, there is like all the medical tests, like, it's like a huge process, right? Then there is like this interview and everything, right? So obviously, but then doing this, you're here, you're safe, you know your rights, you know, you're under law protection, right? So kind of, that's the first message, right? Another message, obviously, you know, you need to be hungry. You need to be hungry in a way for opportunities, and opportunities out there. So it's just being positive, proactive, having initiative. That's what kind of makes the difference.
Right.
Like sitting and waiting for, you know, a blessing, it's not gonna come.
Right.
So that's kind of my mindset.
And how has your background shaped the way that you lead now and the way that you invest?
So, I mean, I always been kind of, I like risk, you know, obviously there is a way to manage risk, right? So, but without risk, you're not gonna get anything in life. So everything is risk, you know. Right. When you're driving, you're at risk. You know, when you're flying, you're at risk. So, like, playing safe, it's not about me. You know, like, obviously you need to manage risk. You know, be responsible, but at the same time, you need to take risk to get anywhere.
Right, right. And what are you proudest of now that you've made this 10 years here? You're a success.
You know, I'm probably proud of my relationship with my wife. You know, it's been 10 years.
That's amazing.
We're still strong, you know, we love each other. Kind of very good advice about choosing your partner. It should be your friend. Mm-hmm. You know, it's very important, because when it's your friend, whatever happens, you know, like, you can figure it out.
Right.
So she's my friend, I'm her friend. we in love. It's been 10 years, so another 10 years to come.
What is your biggest challenge, would you say, right now? After 10 years of living here, you're doing great. You're on an upswing right now with the economy and with real estate and
that's a
with
great
your
question.
marriage.
Yes. So the biggest challenge probably, wow, that's a good question. Challenge. I think the biggest challenge is, getting to the next level. Right? So like that's why I kind of contacted Tracy as well, right? So like, I want to grow, like I'm not satisfied, I want bigger, I want to help more people, and that's kind of my mission.
Yeah, I think that's great. What do you see for yourself in the next 5 years?
So next 5 years, I really think I want to be basically like definitely want to grow my real estate portfolio. That's one thing. I want this business, debt settlement business company, I want it on the next level. So we want to really grow. We started all the social media and everything. So we want this like also grow. I don't know how to say numbers wise, but obviously we want to go bigger. We want to get be seen, and help a lot of people with that. That's kind of one of the missions.
What's your motivation that keeps you going?
So my motivation is my family, my wife, my parents, who obviously still in Ukraine. So
have they thought of coming over here?
They thought of coming over here. It's a challenging process. Potentially, I would be able to get them here. But there is some logistics.
Are you a citizen here yet, or?
Yes.
Resident?
Yeah.
Citizen? Yeah.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Are you in support of Trump and his policies?
Yes.
Him too. I'm glad to hear that.
I really believe that like Trump is definitely he's a crazy guy, but that's what I love about him.
He's doing so much good right now.
That's right. So the thing is like very important, like another message I want to mention is being yourself, being honest, being, don't trying to be someone you are not.
Right.
And that's very big. That's the strength, that's what gives me strength, that's what I see in Trump, he just don't trying to fit in. He just like being himself, and he doesn't give a damn.
Yeah, I think it's great. I saw this one meme on Facebook, and it was this young black guy that's a comedian like guy, but he wears this Trump hat, and he says, when does your president work? When does your president work? When does our president not work? Our president is up at 3:00 making a tweet to like the Ukraine, and then everybody wakes up and finds out what's going on. I just think that's the funniest thing.
I think Trump is the one who can actually make this peace deal, and I really pray that that's what's going to happen. At this point, like I really want peace. And he's like only one who actually making some moves towards this peace.
Exactly.
That's what I strongly believe.
All right, so finish this sentence. The American dream is?
I think it's alive, and it's real. Maybe it's not that simple as in Hollywood movies, but it's definitely there. If you want to put work in, put intention in, you can make it, you can figure it out.
And finish the sentence. The secret to success isn't luck. It's.
I think the secret to success and luck is more your mindset and your environment. So, and obviously your attitude and intentions.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I want to go to a real estate minute real quick.
Sure.
So let's see. I got to get to my notes because I didn't have them pulled up here. But this is the U.S. minute to tell you how the U.S. market is faring right now with all the changes that are going about in real estate right now. This is as of October 2025. Here's what's happening in the real estate market now. And if you're still watching, subscribe, because I think you like this channel and you're going to want to see more of these information and these wonderful people that I get to interview And we've got some great stories coming up. And so please give this one a like. Post your thoughts below. If you might have more questions for Andre, I'd be happy to get you the answers, or get the answers from Barton if you want to ask him some questions about debt consolidation before we get him on here. And please share it with someone else who needs a little bit of inspiration about how great the U.S. is right now to live in. But here's what's happening in the real estate home market right now. Home prices are holding steady across the U.S., with the average home value around $364,000. Up just a fraction over last year. Mortgage rates are still hovering near 6%, keeping many buyers on the sidelines. That means sellers with move-in ready homes or creative financing options, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago with Dan Alborn, have the advantage on the commercial side. Prime multifamily properties are outperforming while others are softening. Bottom line, 2025 is all about patience and positioning. This isn't a boom market. It's a smart market. Those who will stay educated and ready will be the ones to win. Do you agree with that?
I love that.
I agree with that too. Yeah, I'm learning so much about what's going on in real estate right now, and I'm gonna have some great opportunities coming up as well. I just went to a great conference yesterday and learned some things here in Naples. So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm always educating myself, always learning. You know, I tell people I'm getting more interesting. I'm getting talking points. You know, I'm going to have more material to talk about. So that's what I'm all about. James, do you have any questions for Andre here? Not today. Well, do you have any closing remarks or anything you want to talk about before you go?
You know, I just want to say that I'm super grateful that I met you, you know, and I think it's just amazing, you know, that you have a podcast.
Yes.
At some point, I actually thought it like it's a great idea.
And we're growing. We're growing. If you look at the numbers, we are totally growing right now. So it's a great time to be on the Being Tracy Show podcast, because all the numbers are going up right now. So we want to get exposure. If you want to get exposure, if you know someone else who'd be great on the show, please send me a message and to info@thebeingtracyshow.com.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. And now, so who is it you're looking for on this show today? Who is it that should contact you that you want to do business with or help?
So I think there is like two types of people that, like, first of all, it's obviously as I'm in debt consolidation business, right? So if you struggle with credit card debt, you know, we have a great solutions to, you know, help you get it out of it. If you want to fix your credit, let's say, to buy a new house, anything, right? We can help you with that as well. And another people is basically, I'm running my kind of my own show, own business. Another one is like, I'm great at networking. I like to meet new people. So I always have something cooking in the way of like a real estate business. So I connect people like investors to good potential deals. So if you want, let's say, or you have some good deal, you know, I might find you some investors for that. Or if your investor is interested in investing in some good real estate deals, I will be happy to connect.
And that number along the line there, that's Andre's phone number if you want to contact him directly.
Perfect.
And so that's a great opportunity for a lot of people out here. I know there's a lot of people of my viewers that are looking for people like you to help invest in their property or.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, well, like I said, I hope that you've subscribed to this channel and you'll like it. Give it a like. And if you don't have a realtor where you are right now, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to set you up with one. I'm good here all of Florida, but I've got a network that it can help you anywhere you're living. So I can reach out to my network if you need to find one closer to where you are, so we can help you find the investment of your dreams. Anyway, well, thank you so much for making the trip over from Tampa today. Thank you, James. You're always doing a great job here for us. And we'll be back next Friday with a new podcast for you. And we're hoping that you're living your dreams as we are here in Florida and Naples. We love you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You think she's a good girl, but once you get to know her, you realize she's everything. She's crazy. She's funny. She's honest. And you'll never know what she'll do next.